Hey there, do you have a jillion apps on your phone? Do you have a lot of apps? Do you not have a lot of apps? Do you usually use them? I have a ton. I'm one of those people. I have a ton of apps on my phone. Wait, look, let me just show you. What do you see? It's just page after page after page of apps. And today, what I'm going to do is talk about what I think are some indispensable apps for you, for your social media. Now, I was just sitting down with a new client about a week and a half ago, and it was one of the clients where I just consult. So it's a project that I like to use that I like to call the staged reading, which is basically a consulting type setup where I am giving you a content calendar and you are just kind of going through it and doing it yourself. So it's a great option for people who maybe just they know that they can take direction really well and they just want to go off and do it. And so I kind of gave him a suite of these different apps that were going to be helpful for him in creating content, in curating content, and we're going to talk about what that means, and for scheduling content. So this is by no means exhaustive. There are a jillion ones out there. So if you are watching this on demand later on and you want to tip your hat to give your 2 cents of your favorite, please feel free to do that. So we're going to get started today just with these are the ones that I have used over the years, tried and true. There's a couple of new ones in there that I've only recently started using, but everything else are ones that I've used for quite some time, and I love the way that they're always updating the app and making it better and more user-friendly and more mobile-friendly, easier for cloud-based stuff, all that kind of thing. So these are just some of the highlights, the ones that I find to be indispensable. So please, at any time, feel free to comment with your favorite apps. Now, if you know somebody who is looking to boost their social media brand, they're looking to make more content, they're really committing to being online more for either their theater company or their own personal brand or whatever, then please share this video with that friend, tag them in the comments, whatever, so that way they'll be able to get the info as well. All right, so let's get started. Let me see, I have my little agenda here. I always forget to use my agenda right off the bat. Anyway, so we're going to talk about creating content. Now, in past Facebook Lives, I've talked about when to create content, what kind of content to create, and using a content calendar for that. So this means that you kind of have an idea in place of what you are looking to do, and so now it's just time to execute it. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite ones to do that. And the first one that I love that I want to talk about is WordSwag. This one is actually new to me. I love it, and I don't know why I didn't come across it sooner, but it certainly tells you the value of books. So I am a very, very avid reader, and I read a book by Kim Walsh Phillips called Instagram for Business, and it had this app in it, and I was like, why have I not been using this app forever? So I'm going to show you an example of a post that I've done with this app. Wait, no, not that one. Just this one. Okay, yeah, that's the one that we're looking for. So this one I made with WordSwag, and what you do is you can create a quote, and then it gives you all these different options to make it look super pretty and super cool. You know what? I'm going to hide this down here so you can see it even more. Yeah, let me see. Does that make it bigger? I'm trying to make me go away a little bit so you can actually see the post a little bit better. Okay, so I guess you see the background is like yoga stuff because I'm talking about the word practice and the idea that if you put the word practice in front of something, then it automatically softens it. It softens the perfectionism around it. So I felt like a yoga practice, yoga props. So they allow you to either use your own images that you have, or you can find stock images that you can use that are legally allowable. And then you put your quote in, you put who that quote is attributed to, and boom, you're on your way. It's super fast, super user-friendly, and I love that you can make the images all different sizes, and it'll tell you, like, this is a good size for Instagram, this is a good size for Twitter. So I'm a big, big fan of Word Swag. So there's that one. I'm gonna put this down now. The next one that I've been using, now this one I've been using for a while on the desktop version, and then about a year ago they launched, maybe a year and a half, they launched their mobile version, which is great too, and they just keep adding more and more features onto their mobile version. So this is PicMonkey. I really like PicMonkey because it is a great introduction to photo editing. So when I first started a couple of years ago, I didn't know anything about graphic design. I mean, I barely know anything about graphic design. Let's be honest. If you're a graphic designer, I'm sorry if I've offended you with some of the posts that I've done. And if you'd like to barter and maybe show me some of your, give me some of your expertise in some way, I'd be down. Anyway, so I am no graphic designer, but I knew what I needed to do, and I knew that I didn't want to get, when I was first starting out, the idea of Adobe Photoshop seemed very overwhelming to me. And one of my mentors from a class that I was taking recommended PicMonkey. I think it's like $30 a year for the year to buy it, and the app is free, I believe. And it is an excellent photo editing device. Here's something that I like to do with it. Like if I'm on the fly, I'm going to show you this. So I was traveling this week, and I stayed in a Marriott. Marriott is, I guess the guy, Mr. Marriott, who started it, is Mormon. And so there's a Book of Mormon and the Bible in every room, every hotel room, and every Marriott. So I also, this past week, had seen the Book of Mormon. So it was just sort of kismet. But you see, obviously, this is just a regular photo that I've taken, but then I put that orange border around it. So I like to do the orange border as just a little branding thing that I do for Downstage Media. I use Downstage Media's colors because with the PicMonkey app, you're able to put in whatever colors are for your brand. If you have that little 6-digit hex code for your color, then you can put that in and you know that you're using your actual brand colors. And so I love using this one because I just find it adds a little bit more polish to my photos if I'm doing photos on the fly or photo editing. So I'm a big fan of that, especially when I travel. So PicMonkey is another one. So I highly recommend that. Now, we all know, though, that video is very big, right? Video is a big deal. And so I recommend for video editing, especially on mobile, but really this is just if you want to do some very simple video editing. Obviously, you can use something like if you have a Mac, you can use iMovie. They have a mobile app, which I don't like as much. I've played with it. What I find to be really fun, really simple, is an app called InShot. And actually, I wrote a blog post. Once a month, I write a blog post about a favorite app. And so I wrote a blog post about InShot because I think it's super helpful. And so here, I'm going to show you an example of a video, but let me just get it going here. You won't be able to hear the sound, so don't be surprised by that. But I just want you to get a sense of how it looks so you can see. Oh. Okay, so obviously you can hear it. Okay, so there we go. So that is InShot. I'm a big Big fan of using InShot. Have you used it before? Let me know if you have. Here, I can put this down now. So InShot is a super great app. Again, you can make your videos square. They don't have to be square though. You can also just make them for YouTube. You can optimize them for Twitter, for all different sizes, in Instagram stories even now. So I'm a big fan of this. It's a little hard, I think, to edit a long video, but if you're just doing like a minute-long video, just 5 minutes or less, 3 minutes or less, this is my go-to app on the go. Hold on a second. I'm just going to close this now because this is making too much noise. Okay. All right. So we talked about still shots with PicMonkey. We talked about like quote images with WordSwag, and then we talked about short videos with InShot. So now we're going to talk about from creating content to curating content. And here's what that is. Curating content, it's especially on Twitter and on Facebook, it's hard to come up with your own content that you're going to be posting all the time. And it's a big commitment to make. However, there is a lot of other stuff that's going on that you might want to just put your 2 cents in. So curating all of the stuff on the internet and then putting in your 2 cents is a very helpful thing. It's what Peg Fitzpatrick and Guy Kawasaki call a win-win-win. So it's a win for you because you don't have to come up with so much content. It's a win for the people who came up with the content in the first place because they like when their stuff gets shared. And it's a win for your audience because then not only are they getting the benefit of that article that you shared, for example, but they also get the benefit of your 2 cents. So I'm a big fan of curating content. I usually have about 1 day in a week where I will just look at some curated content. And I'll look at some content, curate it, and then put it up, right? So that basically means I read a bunch of blogs, I look at a bunch of newspaper articles, and then I share them online, and I put in my 2 cents. I know curate is kind of like a big curating content sounds like super fancy and markety, but that's basically what it is. Okay, so let's talk about what I like to use for that. I have used Flipboard in the past, which is this very beautiful app, especially on your iPad. It like makes it look like you have a magazine, but I've always found that really, really clunky to use. So I put a call out about 1.5 years ago on my Facebook page, and I said, who has a good RSS reader? And an RSS reader is like something like this, Feedly. Here, I'll just put Feedly up there. Feedly or Flipboard, where you can subscribe to blogs and it puts them all in one spot. So you can read them all in the same place instead of always having to go to that website or having to rely on other people sharing things on Twitter. Either way. So I like this as well because then I can put in some key blogs that I think are great and then add my 2 cents in. So let me show you a little bit about what that looks like. Okay, so this may be hard to see. I'm going to make myself tinier. I'm going to hide this, make myself smaller. Okay, so you can see I have this one, I call it Up to Date, and it is, here we go. So it's got some New York Times technology, so I subscribe to that. Something called SEM Rush, which is all about sort of search engine optimization and influencer marketing. Again, New York Times, Ninja Outreach. So these are all blogs that I read, and then I might look into it and I might say, oh yeah, I really, I'm going to start reading this. Yes, I really like it. And then I'm going to share it either on Twitter or LinkedIn. They even have a way that I can do it on Hootsuite, so I can schedule it to go out on another day, something like that. So I highly recommend Feedly for this reason, because it's a good way for you to stay up to date, and it's also a great way to find to be able to show yourself as an expert in whatever field it is that you are in, which I presume is theater if you're watching this, but maybe not. What's your field? Tell me. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Ooh, I just banged into my desk. Okay, so finally, once you've got all this content, right, you've made your quote images and word swag. You've doctored up a photo in PicMonkey. You made a video in InShot. You found some cool blog posts that you like and that you have your point of view on. Then it's important to schedule them, because trying to do everything natively just takes a lot. Like, you don't want to be in front of your computer every day having to post to Twitter. So this is a way that you can just create your content and then schedule it. So there are a number of scheduling apps out there. But again, this is just what I recommend for my clients because I've used it for a long time. So it's Hootsuite. I've used Hootsuite for nearly 10 years now. And I love the functionality that it has. There's a lot to Hootsuite in that you can see who's just started following you. You can see who's mentioned you on Twitter or on Facebook. You can upload your content to YouTube and Instagram and LinkedIn and all of that. But I'm just going to talk about the scheduling aspect to this app. And this is, again, something that you can do either on your phone. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on your laptop. I mean, whatever. It goes across multiple devices. Here, hold on a sec. Let me close this so I can put... Oh, where'd it go? Okay, well, here, hold on. Let me share this. Give me just a second. There you go. Okay, this is tiny. It's kind of hard to read, but again, let me make myself small. So these are the posts that I have scheduled for the different brands that I'm working on for the next few days. And then you can even see I have something like down here on July 21st because there's something that's like an anniversary or whatever, and I don't want to forget. So I just thought I would schedule it right then and there. And so it's ready to go. So I can see these are all the posts that I've scheduled to go out. I have drafts here. If you're working with other people where you need to get approvals, right, maybe from your artistic director or your producer or just other people on your team or whatever, then you can have ones that require approval, all of that kind of thing. But I love Hootsuite so that way you can get away from this and you can just do everything in a concentrated time and just boom, send it all out and you're done. I love this especially for holidays. If I know I'm going on vacation, things like that, I'll just write, create content, and then just set it all up for that time between Christmas and New Year's because I don't want to deal with any work then. So that is what I recommend for scheduling. You also could do Buffer. You could do HubSpot. Those are other highly recommended apps as well, but I'm a Hootsuite gal. So that's what I recommend for my clients when they're first getting started. Was this helpful to you? Is this helpful? Let me know. Send a comment and just, put it right down there. Again, share this with your friends. If you want to get big ideas and then small little action steps, then please sign up for the Downstage Media newsletter. Every Sunday, I will send something out to you. It's usually pretty short, like a paragraph or two of one big idea for you to think about in terms of your world and social media and getting yourself in the right mindset, and then one action step that you can take to achieve that. So I hope you will subscribe. I think you will get a lot out of it when you do. Downstage.media/newsletter. Boom. That's how you can do that. Oh, wait. I put it in the wrong spot. Look. www.downstage.media/newsletter. There we go. See? Boom. There it is. I hope you've gotten something out of today. If you have, please leave a comment below. If you know someone who you think would enjoy this, please share this with her because she could use it. She needs your help. So please, thank you so much, and I will see you on the first. We do this the second and the fourth Wednesdays of the month. So let me see. Normally we would do this on February 28th, but as I said before, I was traveling, so that's why we're doing it today on March 1st. But the next one that is happening is going to be when? March 14th. Yes. So March 14th, come join us. we'll be talking about another social media topic that will be helpful to you. And thank you so much for checking this out. I'm going to end the broadcast now.